Hi everyone, I am NAINA. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're here for the first time, do subscribe to my channel because I share interesting career tips that help the job seekers. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the mistakes that one must avoid before and during the interviews. So let's begin. Unsuccessful interviews leads to a lot of frustration and demotivation because all your hard work that you have done during the application and your initial interview calls goes in vain. So make sure you avoid these 10 mistakes when you prepare for the interviews. The first mistake that you must avoid is not doing enough preparation. You have been given the job description, you know who your potential employer is. Make sure you do all the research well in advance about the companies, about the strength of the organization, and anything possible that you could research about. My tip number 2 is avoid giving crammed answers. You might have found some situation on Google or through your past experience which you have seen, but it's not in your happened in your career. Avoid making it look like you're making anything up. Make it sound as genuine as possible. Practice it time and again unless you fully master it. So anything which looks like crammed is a big no-no during an interview. Tip number 3. Tip number 3 is work on your body language. When you speak with the interviewers, make sure you maintain proper eye contact. You don't fidget. Don't get nervous or your body will show stress signals like sweating, fidgeting and all that. Stay confident, maintain eye contact, look for your body language, look for your posture, how you're sitting and how you're communicating with them. Tip number 4 is avoid criticizing your previous employer. During any circumstances, you should not criticize your employer or your colleagues or your boss. It doesn't give a good impression when you are putting forward a situation or telling something bad about your previous employer, because it immediately gives an impression that you will behave the same way when you leave this organization, which is not very professional. So avoid putting a blame on anybody that I'm looking for a job because I had bad experience in the past, I had a boss who was really rude. These are absolutely wrong examples to quote, so avoid them. Tip number 5 is speaking understandable English. Everybody has a different dialect. We come from different backgrounds, but make sure whatever you're speaking is not too technical or a high-level English, which is very difficult to understand by anybody, especially the interviewers. So tip number 6 is carrying all the necessary documents with you. When you go for an in-person interview, a night before, pack your bag. Prepare all the documentations. It could be a reference letter, it could be your resume, it could be any additional documents that the employer has asked for. Tip number 7, avoid giving very long answers. It gets very boring after a stage if you give unnecessary long answers to the questions. Whatever is asked, be precise, be to the point, and be relevant. Stick to the topic. Don't deviate. Tip number 8, dress appropriately. See the setting, understand what kind of interview it is. Probably some of the interviewers, they call you in a coffee shop. It's a little informal interview, but still it's an interview. So make sure what suits the situation, you dress up accordingly. My tip number 9. Tip number 9 is prepare smart interview questions. I'll also leave a link of the video that I have created for smart interview questions. You can additionally read it on my blog. So make sure you prepare some good quality interview questions to be asked at the end of interview or whenever it's your turn to ask. That makes interviewers remember you. So smart questions play a very important role. Make sure you prepare them well in advance. You prepare quite the relevant ones. Tip number 10, and the most important, do not miss to ask about the hiring process. It will help you understand the timeline. Also, at the end, do not miss to ask their email address so that you can send them a thank you note. Thank you note plays a great role. It shows that you're really interested, and also it gives you an opportunity so that if you missed anything during the interview, you can send it along with the thank you note. I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it useful. Try avoiding these mistakes during, before, and after the interview, and I wish you all the success. Thank you for watching.